You are a weapon of mass destruction, but you've always been hidden in plain sight for your own safety. You have always been the generational curse breaker, the breaker of toxic systems, the person to speak your truth. Maybe you have certain Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node energy, and you are the person that was always meant to inspire change. That's why you've been heavily bullied. That's why your family has always come up against you. That's why you've always gone through the heaviest trials and tribulations, because God, source, universe places you in rooms and opportunities that only you can handle. And people leave situations around you feeling like they've been completely changed. Whether this is within your family, within friend groups, within work environments, okay? A lot of you, your first bully was your own mother or father or parents or siblings, because you made them realize that there was wounds within them. Some of you have been highly psychic since birth, since childhood. I'm also hearing 4, 5, 6 years old could be very significant, especially when the veil was the thinnest, okay? Most children, the veil is the thinnest, under 7. Or if you're neurospicy, it could even go on for longer than that. You guys could have always said the right thing at the right time, calling people out without meaning to, asking the right questions, but they felt that they were wrong. And talking about like toxic systems, especially within a family line or a friend group. Maybe you were the person that never wanted to gossip. Maybe you were the person that actually saw generational curses and patterns within, family lines or friend groups or even in work environments. I have a lot of people ask me, why am I always placed in toxic jobs? Because you're the one that's supposed to call out the toxic boss. You're the one that's placed in this job or opportunity so that you can bring about change. And of course, this power needs to be hidden. That's why you get bullied. That's why you get tormented. That's why especially young children who always speak the truth or who have these psychic gifts and abilities, people just tend to think they're weird because they don't believe in source, God, universe the way that maybe you and I do, or the way that other people do, because it ensures your protection while you grow. If your parents truly knew who you were meant to be, now for some of you, your parents and relatives have been throwing magic on you since you were a child. For some of you, you know that, they've been preying on your downfall or manifesting against you. And maybe you have proof of this. Maybe you have memories of this. Maybe you were put on medication that you didn't need to be put on. This is going to look different for a large group of people, but this is a form of control and to stop you from stepping into your full potential, right? So it's like, for a lot of you, your parents and your family didn't really know who you were. They just thought that you were mean-spirited, or that you were autistic, or any other type of neurodivergence, that you were unable, ODD could be significant, unable to follow the status quo and do what everybody else wanted you to do. Because if they truly knew who you were, the attacks would have been so much harder on you and your life. And that's where, for a lot of you, maybe you feel like you've been overlooked, or you feel like you've been underestimated. Maybe people didn't realize how smart you actually were because maybe you didn't look the part, or you weren't exactly like everybody else. And that's why you've gone through the most struggles to force you to grow, because for a lot of you, you have spiritual careers that you are meant to embark on. You are meant to be that spokesperson. You are meant to be that motivational speaker, and you are meant to be the light at the end of the tunnel, because you don't even realize that you are the trailblazer. You are the generational curse breaker, and you have the traits and the necessity to disrupt the negative change, okay? And I picked up on this in my live earlier today. Like, even if it's a situation of gossip or knowing something about someone that could help them, like, you're the person that is meant to speak your truth no matter how it makes other people feel. Even if you lose friendships, even if you lose connections, even if you lose people around you, they eventually will thank you for being the voice of reason and for being the honest friend. Most people in our society today are so okay with lying or covering the truth or sugarcoating or not being there for people and only being there for people through good times, or the opposite, only being there for people through bad times because it makes them feel better. There's something about you where you are like forcing people to remove their masks. Your discernment has literally never been stronger, 444. And this is guiding you to not only like awaken to your own inner power, but also help others wake up. Some of you guys have had really difficult awakenings, really difficult difficult. You know, maybe people coming up against you, people taking your kindness as weakness, people trying to manipulate and control your gifts and your authenticity. But now a lot of you have fully stepped into your power and you fully realized who you were meant to be the entire time. So now, by you continuing to show up, and for a lot of us, this is fully stepping into our gifts, writing that book, starting that podcast, showing up and not being afraid to stand strong in our power. A lot of you could also have mediumship gifts or abilities where you can communicate with past over loved ones, or maybe you receive a lot of signs and symbols. The color red could be significant. And this is your time for you to fully speak up on what you know, what you see, what you feel. And this is going to help more people be exposed to awakening energy and more people step into their full potential outside of fear. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been feeling very afraid, you know, on my collectives, on the clock app, and on the lives that I do. A lot of you guys have been feeling very afraid to step into your power and speak your truth because of the negativity, because of how difficult it is to reshape the world around you. And I want you to remember that you are going to be greatly rewarded for continuously taking action on the things that scare you, and also being that black sheep generational curse breaker and being the person to speak your truth no matter if your voice shakes. And if you are struggling with fear or any negative emotion in regards to standing in your power and being in your mission, email me to book a shamanic healing. Let's remove those fears, okay? Let's help you step into your power, because you have the experience, you have the strength, and you have the unique gifts and the unique outlook in order to completely change your life and also help other people change their life. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to change the world. And that's why for a lot of us, the indigo children or the kids that were different, we specifically grew up not having friends. We specifically grew up being bullied. We specifically grew up being in difficult situations because that's the only way that you learn to stand in your truth and authenticity. It's a lot easier to stand in your power if you never really had people supporting you to begin with. And the things that are unique about you is what's going to change this world. Stop dimming your light in order to fit in, because 9 times out of 10, your light is irritating other people's sense of self-hatred within themselves. And everything that they attack you about, 9 times out of 10, these are things that they wish they had within themselves. And the things that you are afraid of, or you feel like are different, or you feel like make you don't fit in, is because you are meant to be a leader. You are meant to be an outcast. So you can create ripple effects within the world. So you can be that person to create change and create a whole new world. We're stepping into, especially before 2030, like the next 5 years are very significant for the light workers. Like this message is for the light workers, the change bringers, and the new beginnings. Okay. If you are ready to create massive change, step in your power and do what you were guided and born to do. I love you. Just keep shining. You've got this, baby.